All right, let's get started here. Thanks everybody for joining, taking a few minutes of your day. This won't take but anywhere, 15 minutes or a half hour. Leave some time for questions if there is any. Um, what I hope to cover today, this weekend, you probably saw it when you logged into Cloud Suite and into FSM. A little thing that said there's an update happening this weekend. Well, the October release update is happening. There's a lot of new enhancements and um, a lot of performance enhancements and other things that are coming on. But the one notable one is what I'm about to show everybody, and that it's going to look different when you log in on Monday. And I know you had that once happen before. And I don't want to everybody to, oh my goodness, what happened? Why does it look so different? It's really all good stuff. Took me a minute to actually get to where get to the feel of it, but it's really hard to go back even after that. So I'll show you the differences today. On the left side is what your screens will look like come Monday. On the right side is what it looks like today in production. So some notable differences here. You can see if you click on the menu here, your menus are in black over here, and you have all of your print manager, your notifications, and everything are up here. In the future, it's going to look something. So let's I'll click on here. So I'll get into a staff accountant role just so everybody can kind of get a look and feel of a role. Over here and staff over here. So you can kind of have an idea what those look like. So over here, all those icons at the top and your menus look a little different. You can see how my menu on the left over here looks a little different. Manage journal entries. Some things have gotten moved, and what they've done is they've made it easier to go find stuff. So it's a little bit more friendly from that perspective. Where's my print manager? That's the first one I'm going to just show everybody. You're going to see a new thing at the bottom left-hand corner, report catalog. So print manager used to be up here. Now you have to go to report catalog. Not as happy about this one, the change, but there's so much other functionality in here, reporting, but your print files are located up here. You can bookmark the page if you want to get to it, but some things that are in the report catalog, if you're looking for something and you're not sure if it exists, you can actually say, yeah, I'm looking for something in assets. And I can click on assets, and it's going to show me all the reports that I can run in assets. And if there's one that I like more than another, or one that I'm going to be running all the time, I can just put my favorites on. And excuse me, let me just close my door. Sorry. Slammed my door. They'll show up in your favorites here, so you don't have to go hunt them down again. You'll also have any reports that you've created. So if you created a report, it would show up there as well, and they'll be close to it. So really good place, but just know if you're hunting, where did my print manager go? How do I get to my print files? You need to go, it's no longer here. It is in your report catalog and then print files. Okay. Other things to note, like when I minimize, I don't have a bar over here on the left. When I minimize in here, I have this bar over here. In different role, let's go back to our staff accountant role. In different roles, you'll see different things. So if I was in the payables manager role and I minimize this, you're going to see some quick icons to get to things. So depending on what you have access to, they also show up when you open it up, those quick icons. So if you don't have to open up the menu bar if you're just searching for invoices, you can just click on that. So it is a little easier to navigate from that perspective. Other things on the top right, we had, my jobs and notifications and everything else. Those are some of you have notifications, and if you're not doing any approvals, but that would be where approvals go. In here, you'll find your actions and your jobs. So if you use those settings, you can get to there. Settings is in here as well. So if you haven't, and you like a different color, you could do this in the old way. It was a little harder to get to. But now if I wanted to change how how things look, hey, I don't like, when that message pops up in the top right-hand corner and it's over all the keys, you want to hit next or add or something else, you can say, hey, I want that message to be at the bottom left. So now whenever you have any message that says, vendor added or journal entry created, that message will show up in the bottom left, so you can move that message around. You can say how long it's going to be. So I use the default, so it stays up there just long enough for me to use it. And under the visual side, you can pick which application. If it's defaulting to payables manager, but you really want it to default to staff account, you can change that here. Other things you can do in here is that was all for there. So I hit save. Once you save it, it will just refresh your screen and those actions will be there. Trying to think if I can show you one other thing here to set your thought it was in there, but I guess not. When you're exporting records, I don't recommend changing this to no limit, but if you have things that you use that are no limit, you can do that. Please don't, because you'll be like, oh, I didn't really mean to export all of the records in the database. Right. That's it for that area there. Any questions out there? I'm monitoring the chat area, so if you have questions or you want to come off mute, just go ahead and ask them.
Hey, Greg,
Yeah.
when you say the reports will move, define what you mean by that. Are these like custom things you have set up, like for Tiffany to do certain things with the elims and different stuff like that? That'll be Madison, but will those reports move, or this is not account analysis? These are custom reports, right?
Yeah, well, reports, but just like if I like, I like to use assets. It's a pretty easy demonstration under asset manager. In my old world, I had to find the asset listing. So there's asset items here, and I could get to that. In the new world, report catalog, I can say, hey, I'm looking for all of my assets stuff. So I can just say, hey, I'm looking for um, everything assets, and I can find which one is there. There's that asset item. It's the same thing that I have over here. And I can click on it and get to asset item. You can see they're exactly to the same place. Just an easier place if you don't. Sometimes it's hard to find it in that list and you're looking for something. And even more so, you can filter it down too. So if I'm looking for a balance type report in assets, I can say, just show me some balance reports. So it'll filter it down for you for those perspective. If I was looking for some stuff on their global ledger, and same thing, I'm looking for my analysis reports. There's some project analysis reports, or hey, I'm looking under the general stuff. Here's other things you can do and get to them. You probably didn't even know they existed because they're hidden in menus down there. So it's just a good place to go out there and look. When this comes live on Monday, go out there and take a look at your area and see what might be interesting to you. I kind of have access to everything, so I see a little too much. You'll see hopefully a little less. That answer that, John?
Yes, thank you.
Okay. Yep. So just a couple other things that you might just see out there. I think you could see up here, it tells me. So if you're one of the users that goes into test to try something, you can see up in that top right hand corner, it actually says TST. It doesn't say that today. So I'll know I'm in prod versus test. A little hard to figure out other than looking at the URL before, just to kind of make sure that you're in the right place. Other notable things, and we'll make sure that you'll be able to see them, but it's always been there. And I just, hey, I got time to talk to you a little bit about some things, but if I'm in payables, invoice processor here, oh, I don't want to be that. I want to be manager so I can actually see things. Sorry. Payables, actually one other thing after this, payables manager. That little context viewer off to the right there is really cool to use. And if you haven't used it, try it. In this release here, so I look at a released invoice over here and I click on this and I click on the context viewer, it will tell me everything about that. If it has payments, it'll tell me the payment. It'll give me the check date. If it's been coded, if it's been reconciled, it'll tell me everything about it. This one has not been paid. It's a released invoice. But if we went over to, hey, let's go take a look at paid invoice over here, you'd see a little bit more information over there on that context viewer. So leverage this stuff, it's really nice to be able to get to, there it is. I have payment information in there. I could get to the invoice information. You're not using PO and everything, so you won't see the requisitions and POs, but it's all in there. And in the future, if we start putting images into the system, you would actually see the image in the system right here as well. So if there was a PDF for that invoice, rather than having to go open up the invoice and click on a link, I could just see it there. That works in GL as well. So if you're attaching documentation to your journal entries, you'll be able to see the related information right here. Also cool for using that, just keep in mind when you do use that, if you have some documentation and you're on a journal entry, you can literally just drop a file, and I'm not going to let go of it right now, but I can just come over here and drop and drag and drop that file there rather than go hunt it down. So if you have it, you have your file explorer up on another window and you want to drop it over here, it's great for dropping that information. You can put that in there. Questions in there? If you do have questions on
Is
this,
this the same with the reconciliation module?
yep, everything. Every place that you can attach a document. So, whether I'm in a journal entry, the recon module, close, wherever it is, that task that it's going to be associated with that transaction. So it's transaction to associate with. So I'll be able to see everything about it, all the attachments there. So, and anything, if you think about some questions, after this meeting, I'll, just reach out to us. We'll help. We'll try to answer them. Also, I'm making a recording of this so you can get back out and look at it if you weren't sure about where that print manager went. Greg told me, where does it go? Report catalog, print file. So it's the one hidden one that threw me off when they first did this. This was rolled out back in I want to say the April release. So here we are in the October release. So we need to make sure we adopt them because I think actually it was the last October release that happened. And so these now are becoming permanent. So you have to adopt them or they just happen. So on Monday morning when you come in, it is going to look different. Don't be afraid of it. And you're going to hate it for the first few minutes just because we all hate to change things. And then it's going to be great. So I prefer the new way of searching. It's cleaner. The menus are cleaner to get through. They've cleaned up a lot of the menu process over here, so things are more consolidated and easier to find things that you're looking to do. That's the big changes that are coming this weekend. There's a lot of other changes that are happening that we could talk about for hours in the release management of like improvements of asset processing, improvements of allocation processing, multi-threading, and new enhancements that are out there, and just bug fixes that are out there. But today I just wanted to not get everybody freaked out on Monday when things look a little different. That's all.
Hey, Greg. So the
Yeah.
big question is, we come in here on Monday and we go to run checks.
Mhm.
Is there going to be anything that doesn't talk to MHC?
I check that one every month for you because they have updates that come out. That was that one output file that happened that one time. I know what you're talking about though. The output file doesn't change anymore. It's so. But if it did, I would make sure I notify you on that. That's something that we actively look. We go and review all of the changes for every module with our team for all of our customers, and I'll know. Yeah, that output file. It is a note that we check if there's any changes to the AP output file. You are the first ones to know because you use MHC.
Okay, and this is pure portal for CSF. This has no bearing on Spreadsheet Designer.
No, no Spreadsheet Designer is not affected by this at all. This is just simple navigation changes that are happening. They are not functionality changes. Everything works exactly the same. They're just how to get to things in just a cleaner look. So, like I said, when you click down this and I minimize the screen, I have this bar on the left. You're gonna be able to see, hey, there's my report catalog. That's how I get to my print manager. Over here, I would click up here to get to that print manager. And all these other pieces, notifications and reports, etc. That they're just harder to find before. easier if they were up on this menu bar so it looked good, but you can look at, like, this is, when we're looking at, this is payables manager and this is payables manager. You could see that these look just a tad different on the menu side here to get the things. The pluses are gone, it's drop downs, but it is cleaner, it is faster.
Okay.
If you do have any problems on Monday, just, open up, send it right to support. It will get answered in minutes. We're prepared on Monday to answer everybody's, anything that happens on Monday. So I have been testing stuff in what we call a PP, pre-plot environment. So I'm not really concerned about any of the changes that are going on. We fully vetted them out as far as like the multi-threading things and some of the enhancements around just performance. You're going to see some new performance things come through. So you'd be like, well, things are quicker. Well, they're going to be. And if you do come across any performance issues ever, please, let John know. We'll open up an incident with Infor. Right now, we have Infor's ear for every performance issue that's out there. So all the performance changes, GeForce is driving them. Just one other quick thing, you'll note when we go over to the new area here, you're going to have a little smart help up here. You'll be able to see if there's any knowledge base articles. So if I was on a payments here and I click on there, and I might see some. Get into an invoice screen here. Something that has a good knowledge base article. When you're on a screen, it will refresh and say, so here's some things right out of the Infor knowledge base. So some issues that may have been that someone has put out there, and there's a knowledge base article around it, so that you'll be able to see those really quickly. We'll also, when we go to Monday, you'll start to see stuff show up in the smart help area here that you could add your own documentation into there. Right now, you don't have it turned on, but it's going to get turned on. So you have a little paperclip there. So if you wanted to attach an ISD template that you use to upload invoices, you could put that there and it'll stay there. It stores it in the document management system. So you don't have to worry that someone opened up your template and messed it up. It'll always be the pristine template that's out there. And of course, we can go put a new pristine template out there if we have updates to it as well. Just good things to use. It's out there. You'll start to see how it looks. It's going to be just a little bit different when they cut over next week. Again, question: if things, don't be afraid of it. It is going to look just a little bit different, but really the biggest one is, where did my print manager go? That's the one I get all the time. Outside of that, everybody adopts really quickly to that new ribbon bar and the new colors and everything else. All right. Questions, I'll leave it open for the next few minutes here if there is any. If there's not, we'll give you back 10 minutes of your time and get ready for Monday. Awesome. Well, thanks everybody for your time. Appreciate it. Have a great weekend, even though it's one more day away.
All right, Greg. Thanks for the update.
Yep. Bye.
Thank you.